up spending half a lifetime chasing money to pay bills, make a living, and meet our needs. It's a fact that regular currencies today are not backed up by anything but our own beliefs, and central banks globally are holding our future in their hands with a tight grip. Money means power, and this information can truly empower you if you are willing to be open-minded and learn the truth about money. The financial crisis 2008 almost brought down the world's financial system. Central bankers and other regulators bear responsibility for mishandling the crisis. Many people and companies were bankrupt overnight, but at the same time, great opportunities were born. There is always two sides of a coin, and after centuries of economical challenges, we are about to discover that there are better ways. Out of the crisis 2008 grew one of the greatest financial opportunities ever, and it challenged the whole monetary system in a heartbeat. It was created and born out of years of frustration and distrust to the banking and monetary system. Cryptocurrency was a fact. Now you have a completely transparent opportunity in front of you, and the best part of it is that you can design it to your own preferences if you are interested in building your portfolio and creating a profitable stream of income. This is your chance of being
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, here we go today with another session. Today we're going to be talking about a topic. We're going to be talking about Bitcoin. We're going to be talking about a subject that most people don't know too much about. They say probably only 1% of the people in the United States have ever heard of Bitcoin. And we're going to talk about Bitcoin today. We got my brother right here, James LaFleur. And then we got my brother Charles.
Tommy Charles.
Tommy Charles, the head of the Speakers of Organization. And we expecting a great session on today. We're going to talk about some money.
All right. My brother Jeff, my brother right here. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, brother.
All right, Doc.
All right. As you know, this is Tommy Charles with the Speakers of Organization. Once again, coming before you with truth and real truth and nothing else but truth. And that's what we do here at the Speakers of Organization because of our love for people. And as you heard, Brother Jeff Harrison, Brother James LaFleur, who's with us today. And our subject is going to be the Bitcoin. And we're going to talk about some things concerning the Bitcoin to give you an understanding of what the Bitcoin is, why it's in existence, and what it's going to be in the future, and how it's going to affect your lives. What I have to say to you is this is a video that you're going to want to watch. This is a video that's going to affect you, it's going to affect your children, and it's going to affect the lives of your grandchildren. It's going to affect their children. And we're going to say some real truth. We're going to talk about some hidden things dealing with Bitcoin and why this Bitcoin has come into existence. Okay, so many of you might know, the reason what brought my attention to Bitcoin is because I've had, and you're one of them, because this man right here, Jeff, he does a lot of investments, and he does investments. So Jeff came, he's one of the people that came to me, and I've had other people come to me and mention the Bitcoin. I never heard of it before. They were telling me, Charles, you need to invest in Bitcoin. So I would always say, okay, I'm going to look into it. And one day I did look into it because I was interested. After so many people came to me and told me that I need to invest in it. I know our people, a lot of us, we don't invest, and we weren't taught coming up. I know I wasn't, and I don't know anybody in my neighborhood coming up that taught us that we should invest. And number one, to be honest with you, I never really trusted the system. Wall Street, because when we was coming up, we heard about Wall Street. So I never really even trusted the system to even want to invest. Okay, so I did some research, as you know. A lot of times on some of my videos, I have my notes. I put it on the computer because I want to hit all points. Like when I was in the Army, they used to say, a short pencil is better than a long memory.
Right, right.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, at some points I want to hit on. We want to say some things that's going to make you think. Some things that's really going to make you think. Whether you're a person that invests in Bitcoin or a person who do not invest in Bitcoin, it's going to still, this thing right here is still going to affect your lives, and we're going to bring this out to you. So Jeff, is there anything that you that you would like to say before I start?
Well, you know, back in 2009, you know, somebody on Facebook introduced me to a coin called Verticoin.
Okay.
You know, and it started out as they called it Paybox.
Okay.
And so it was virtual money. You know, so a lot of people in the barbershop, they were laughing at me, you know, because I was trying to sign people up to get this virtual money. And they said, man, that's play money, man. You can't spend it. You know what I'm saying? I had like $40,000 in virtual money. They said, it's play, you can't spend it. You know, so I stuck with it, you know what I'm saying? I was like, you know, everybody said it's play money, but the people that started is telling us that one day it's going to be worth something, you know? And so so I got in Verticoin, which is the sister company to Bitcoin, you know what I'm saying? And I started out with, I bought up to like 7 million Verticoins, you know, and then they split like last year, and they went from 7 million to more or less they did a reverse split. So a reverse split, if you had 7 million, when they do the split, you got 70,000. Okay. So now they working in thousands rather than millions. Okay. But it still is okay though. You know, so right today, so I started getting into Verticoin, and then Verticoin is everything, all the cryptocurrencies is based off of Bitcoin. Okay. Bitcoin is sort of like the dollar in investments. You got a bunch of different investments, but all based on the dollar. Right. So it's all these different investments, all of them are based on Bitcoin. And Bitcoin went from like 2009, it was like 1 cent. And as of about 6 months ago, not 6 months, about 4 months ago, Bitcoin went to $20,000. It touched $20,000 just for one coin. Okay. Could you imagine buying 10,000 coins back then for 1 penny, and they went to $20,000? You'd be a multi-millionaire over.
Right.
So there is a new wave coming.
Right, and that's understandable. One thing about the world is always revolving. It's always revolving. It's always changes continually since we've been on this earth. On Bitcoin, I'm going to say some things about Bitcoin. Bitcoin, it was created by who they say an unknown person or an unknown group of people under the name of Satoshi Nakamoto.
Yeah, that's me.
Okay.
Yeah, that's me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. But evidently, this is not one individual. It's more of a group or a smoke shield.
Yeah, it's a smoke
of how Bitcoin came into existence.
We are all Sachi. We are all Satoshi. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, all of us are Satoshi.
We don't agree in everything that we say. You know about the video. We say, James.
What does Satoshi mean?
Satoshi means that 1 Bitcoin is worth 100 million Satoshis, right?
Okay.
See? So that we are all Satoshi Nakamoto. And see, that's why the government's trying to find the one person, but we are all, as a corporate group, is Satoshi.
Okay, that's his opinion. Okay, the plan for the Bitcoin was started in 2007. That's when they started the plan, and that's when they start brainstorming to put everything together to launch the Bitcoin. Bitcoin was launched and it was started in 2009. Okay, so at first we know the people, which is natural because when change come, people think it was a scam, just like Bitcoin.
Right.
Everybody, when people start talking about it, they say that a lot of people, what you just said about the, what's that coin you just mentioned?
The Satoshi.
No, what you mentioned.
Verticoin.
The Verticoin. How people told you there was a scam because it's a virtual
Virtual money.
Virtual
Right, and
currency,
Verticoin, by the way,
virtual currency.
Verticoin today is worth 3 cents.
Okay,
It's worth 3 cents right now.
Okay.
You know, so
Okay.
so it could be possible the next Bitcoin.
good, yeah, because, right, exactly. I believe that. So even when Bitcoin came out and people were used to the physical dollar, $20, $100 and all
Credit
of that.
cards.
Right.
Right, credit cards and all that. So when a person comes to you and start talking about this virtual money
Right.
that's just in the computer, you can never touch it. That sounds like, come on, man, that's just a game. That's a joke. It's a scam. It's just people trying to get your money. So people that think about that or would say that, that's natural, because I probably would have been one of the same people.
Right, right.
You know, be like, okay. And then if I decided to invest in it, I'm gonna put something in it that I can afford.
Right.
I'm not gonna throw everything in there where I'm gonna take a big loss.
Right,
You
right,
understand?
right, right.
Is something you want to say, Jay?
Yeah, like money is just a medium of exchange.
Right.
Is a way to get something from one place to another.
Mhm.
And don't be surprised as we evolve that we find different ways to get things from one place to another. If you look at back when they used to trade, you give me your sheep and I'll give you my wheat. So that was just a trade. That was a bartering system. So money is just a bartering system. And now with the evolution of the technology that we have, that's what's happening with this Bitcoin and Verticoin and all these different monies that's going around. It's going with the time and with the technologies. So if you get stuck back there with the sheep and the wheat, then you're gonna miss out on what's going on today in the 20th century.
And what I wanted to say to you, the people, as I said earlier, just a couple minutes ago, that everybody thought that Bitcoin was a scam, but it turned out to be of value and of great value.
Great value.
Okay, so I want to put that out there about Bitcoin. There's a lot of people that made a lot of money off of it. Okay, now with Bitcoin, there's computers that must approve Bitcoin trading. Okay, so you have all these different computers that's out here, and it has to be, the computers have to agree on the trading of Bitcoin. Okay, so it took about a couple of years for them to get all of that together from 2007 to 2009. Okay, there's not one person that owns or controls the trading within Bitcoin. There's not one person that owns the company or that's in control of the value of the Bitcoin that you trade.
Right.
Okay, when a person invests in Bitcoin, the sky's the limit to what you can make. But if you get hacked, you'll lose everything, because it's a gamble. Just like when people that go, I don't gamble, but just like people that go, when they go to Wall Street, they invest. Chances are still lost. When you go to the casino, people invest. Or whatever. You understand what I'm saying?
Can I add something on that? You know, if you think about it, a lot of people, sort of afraid of the virtual currency, but at the same time, if you really look at it, your MasterCard is virtual currency. If your account is online, you know what I'm saying, you got online banking, your stuff is virtual currency. So somebody can hack into your bank right now. Somebody want to hack your banking account right now online. You got online banking. Somebody hack that right now. They can transfer the money to their account or whatever. So we can easily anybody can get hacked,
Right.
And there has been hacks in Bitcoin,
Right.
and there has been hacks in just in people's everyday bank accounts,
Right. Right.
So just a chance you gotta take.
If you get hacked, you lose everything. And when a payment is made, it cannot be retrieved. But that's in everything anyway, when you gamble or whatever. When you lose your money, I remember being at Atlantic City one time, and we was leaving out. When you in Washington, we waited. Remember we was leaving out? It was a lady crying like crazy, wasn't she?
She lost her money.
Because she put all her money into the casino when she was broke. Some people had a type of, the gambling spirit. To me, a gambling spirit is a terrible spirit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And, when you get, whether it's look at all the people that lose their money every day in the regular lottery. Whether they invest when the lottery hits 250 million, 400 million, or whatever it may be, and people, look how many people invest in that and lose their money. It's not retrievable to them. You know what I'm saying? So look how many, that's how the lottery is so big. That's why it can be 400 billion. That tells of the greatness of the number of people that's investing into that lose their money every day. Investing, hoping, trying to keep hope alive to receive the money that they said is available.
Whether it's $1, whether it's $2,
Yeah.
you got people investing a lot of money into the lottery.
Right.
So that's how that amount get up to be $700 million and $900 million to $1 billion almost.
Yeah.
So it's investment is not something to be scared of.
Right.
But at the same time, you should do your studying and be very cautious of it. With
Right.
Bitcoin and whenever you're trying to trade into Bitcoin, you got to go through certain trading posts like Coinbase.
Right.
Go ahead, Jeff. You know about
you got Coinbase, and you got another one called Gemini. You know, you got so many different exchanges that you can go to, and I trade today on an exchange called Blue Trade, and Blue Trade is located in Australia. You know, and like I say, you got different exchanges.
Which one was
You got
the less
Bitcoin
painful for
exchange.
us if you want to sign up with? Which one?
I think
was easier?
Blue Trade been around the longest. I
So that
think
was pretty much easier
Blue
to
Trade,
sign up with.
BlueTrade.com been around the longest, and it's simple. And I don't think Blue Trade have been hacked since this thing kicked off. You know.
I got some advice from a friend that was doing it, Joshua Washington. He was saying that what you do is start your whole new email account that you don't have nothing else going to. So open up a separate email account that's only dealing with your online trading. And that's where you actually, once you get everything started the way you want, you put your passcode, everything on a piece of paper and put it in your own safe. And keep it away from anybody. Don't store it on your phone. Don't store it nowhere. Just keep it written down on a piece of paper and keep that safe. Because if you lose that, then you lose access to that money that you invested. And you could start out investing $100, $200, because you got to understand you're coming in at something that's pennies, you know, on a dollar. So if you invest $100, if that thing get big, then you never know, you know. So take a chance at $100, $200, and if you feel a little more, go ahead and invest $400, $500. But you don't have to start out big. You don't have to put $10,000 in there. But start out small. But you'll regret it if you only put $100 in, and then that penny stock becomes a dollar. Then you be like, man, I wish I would have put more in.
Right.
So you know what you're able to do. So only do what you're able and what you're comfortable with. But definitely get involved with this because it is growing. It's growing exponentially.
When you say that, you're talking about Bitcoin is growing?
Bitcoin, all the cryptocurrency, the environment, the world.
And sort of like Bitcoin right now is, this morning is around $10,000 for one. So Bitcoin is like really, the average person can't afford Bitcoin right now.
But you got Ripple.
Yeah,
Ripple is one out there that you can afford. I think it's almost $2 right now.
Ripple's like $1.14
$1.14.
last time I checked. You
Okay.
know, and you know you got right now on the coin market cap, you have 1,400 different cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin being number one.
Okay, Ripple is one. RIPPLE. Ripple is one. Verticoin is one. Verticoin, you said, is at 3 cents right now.
Yeah.
So Verticoin is one to get into if you want to get in low. So those just something to throw out there.
Right. And when you're a sender and invest in it, you're really just a number. All you are is a number. In Bitcoin, you're nothing but a number.
All of them.
And that's all right, basically a number. And the base, one of the basic things to cryptocurrency is the blockchain.
There you go. Okay.
Blockchain.
The blockchain.
Okay. So all of this is based on the blockchain chain technology.
Exactly.
Okay. So that's the base of it.
Okay, let me break down the blockchain.
Yes, sir.
Okay, the blockchain, when they say the blockchain, is talking about a ledger. Sort of like you got a wallet.
Right.
You have a wallet. Let's say we all three had a wallet, and we was all in Bitcoin. He had a wallet, and we have a wallet address, which have about 50 crypto our address that's encrypted. You understand? It's encrypted, so we can trade from peer to peer. Like, let's say if I want to send you 10 Bitcoin, all I need is your address. You would send your address to me. I would copy and paste it, put it in my send box, and I would send you 10 Bitcoins. Okay. Or the same thing, or vice versa. And see what happens is the blockchain when, let's say, if he send me 10 Bitcoin, the blockchain would tell what time he hit send. That's why the world is going to the blockchain, because you don't need accountants.
Right.
It would tell what time he sent, and then when I open my wallet, it will tell what time I received it. So when they say confirm, that means I got it. So I can't call him back and say, I didn't get the 10 Bitcoin.
Okay.
I'm telling a lie, because they can look in the blockchain and trace it when you hit the button, when you seen confirm.
When it hits your wallet, they know already.
You can't cheat. Okay. So that's why it's doing away with a lot of accountants, a lot of people's jobs, is because everybody gonna be trading on the blockchain where it's wide open. Right. All the person that's running the computer administration, he gonna go in there and look at the chain and see you in the chain when all the transaction that whole day was made.
Right.
And they'll be like, no, on the 12th of December, you made this transaction, you sent this man 10 Bitcoins, and he received it on the same day at 2 o'clock.
Right. All transactions are saved on the blockchain.
Yes.
And the blockchain is the core of the Bitcoin.
Yes.
Okay? It is said that Satoshi passed majority of the operation of Bitcoin to a man called Garvin Anderson, who said Bitcoin is better than gold.
Yes, it is.
Okay?
Yes,
he said Bitcoin is better gold. He said Bitcoin is better gold than gold.
Right.
That's what he said.
Because you think about it, gold right now is $1,300 an ounce.
Right.
Bitcoin is $10,000.
Right.
So what you think people gonna actually start switching to Bitcoin as they go? Right. As they are their source of more or less having a foundation like gold is. You know what I'm saying?
Right. We're gonna talk about a secret. It's gonna be a spin on this Bitcoin situation later on in this video. That's going, and I'm because I'm a person. I'm a man of study. I'm a man of research. I love studying. I love research. I love looking into things. But if you knew me as a little child that used to hate homework and used to try to do my homework in school so I wouldn't have to do it at home. If you knew how I was when I was young and a child and how I am today, I would have never thought that I'm this type of individual.
Same here.
I would have never thought I would have wrote some books.
Come on, man.
You understand what I'm saying? I would never thought that me writing books.
Come on, man. I was in special education, man.
I hear it.
And I wrote three books.
Look at that.
Come
you see
on,
what I'm saying? God takes the Most High takes the weakest and
he said the foolish things of the world to confound the wise.
Right.
That's what he said.
Right, exactly. He shows his work in the people that's weak. You understand what I'm saying?
He used a carpenter.
Yeah.
He used a fisherman. People that people don't look up to. You know, they look up to the lawyers and the doctors and all those people, those in high status places.
Right.
But
People with high degrees and PhDs and all that.
And see, plus I believe he used the ones that want to be used. If you want to be used, in spite of your shortcomings, in spite of your educational level, if you want to be used, God will use you.
Moses said, I can't speak. God said, I'll send Aaron. He said, don't let that be an excuse because you can't speak.
Right.
I'll let somebody speak for you, but I need you to go forward.
Right. I repeated the 3rd grade.
Oh, come on, man.
I repeated the 3rd grade. I failed the 3rd grade. I went through all the school, and I was always told I was a dummy, stupid. I'll never be. I've heard that all my life through my childhood. You understand what I'm saying?
You hear that, little kids?
Yeah,
he said he repeated the 3rd grade when he was talked about and called silly and dumb and stupid, whatever. I personally, when I was in 4th grade, they wanted to hold me back, but I started this reading class. And I excelled. Yeah. But after that, I excelled. I'm the same person that graduated with academic scholarship. So they can talk all they want and they can talk about us, but if given the chance and opportunity, we will excel. So you kid that feel like you're left behind, you're not left behind. All you got to do is find that right niche, the right person, that right teacher. For me, it took the right teacher that showed me some concern. Yeah. And that teacher showed me some concern, got me into some reading classes, and then I went off like that, and I began to excel.
And this fella is real book smart. I can confirm. He is a smart fella. He's a smart fella. He is, though. He is. I'm telling you. I've been doing the fella for over 20, almost 25 years. But let me say this. And we breaking this off because we want the children and you young people, anybody out there to understand it doesn't matter what you are today.
No limitations.
It's what you be tomorrow. Look, it's what you're going to be tomorrow, and you're working on yourself. Let me say this real quick. Even though I had to repeat the 3rd grade, even though I didn't have no confidence in myself, even though I was like as low to the ground as confidence, I still had a strength in me that I never knew and recognized. Because when I went to high school, I had a desire that I wanted to graduate in my right year. You see what I'm saying? I went all through school from 3rd grade on up,
behind that one.
a grade behind, and a lot of people didn't even know, children, students or whoever, didn't know that I was a grade behind because it was something I was ashamed of, something I never knew, and the people didn't know. But I still had a desire when I got in high school. When I was going out to 8th grade, I was like, you know what? I want that, and I didn't realize that was a burning desire in me, and it was strength. I was like, you know what? I want to graduate in my right year. And I'm not going to go into it because I said it. I think I mentioned it on another video. But I ended up going to high school, Mackenzie High School in Wyoming, and I was only in high school 3 years. I went from the 9th grade to the 10th grade to the 12th grade. I'd never been in the 11th grade before. You see what I'm saying? And when I graduated, we had 2 principals, and I remember her name. Her name was Mrs. Denny. She was a short Caucasian woman who told me that I couldn't graduate because I wasn't in high school enough semesters. And I remember breaking out in the cold sweat.
Oh man, you gotta go at school, man.
Yeah, she told me. She said, you haven't been in school enough semesters. You can't graduate. So I told her, what am I supposed to do? I had 7.5 credit. I was more than what I needed to graduate. I said, what am I going to do? What I'm going to come back and just take art, gym? What I'm going to do? You know what I'm saying? So I went to my counselor. And my counselor told me, he said, it was he or she, I can't even remember who it was. But my counselor told me, come back at 2 o'clock. I went to my classes. I couldn't even concentrate on my classes. But anyway, when I went back to my counselor at 2 o'clock, my counselor told me, don't worry about it, you graduate. I didn't still tell people that I was going to graduate because I wanted to see. And it was on the 2nd floor, down the hall from the gym, in Mackenzie High School in Wyoming. When they had a chart that they put up, and it was showing where all the seniors were going to sit during graduation. And when I saw my name on that, up there, on that chart, on the hallway, in the hallway of school, that's when I started telling people that I was graduating. And no, even though I never had a reputation of being a liar, nobody believed me. And you know how many people I had to take to that chart and show them my name? And they would, how you do that? Because the first thing that would come out of their mouth is you lying. So the purpose of why we're saying this to you is to strengthen you. And no matter who's tearing you down, telling you are stupid, dumb, and you can't do this and that, know that you're strong.
Let me concur this too. Let me give I have a similar story like him. I actually dropped out because of different reasons in Chicago, and I ended up being behind, 2 years behind in high school. I went in, my first year of high school, I was on 11th, 12th grade levels for all my standardized scores. We took the Iowa test scores in Chicago. Anyway, I was ahead, and I would miss school because my mom, she would move in one neighborhood, would be a gangster neighborhood, and my school was in a vice lord neighborhood, just say so to speak. So I wouldn't go to school a lot because I felt, the pressure of that. My mom didn't understand being from Mississippi and raising us in Chicago. She didn't understand that, you move from one neighborhood to the next, you're dealing with gangs and all that kind of craziness. And they dealt with colors, wearing hats, all that kind of stuff in Chicago. Always, what do you be about? Asking you, what do you be about? That was a big thing in Chicago. So it was a lot of pressure on me as a young man. I didn't want to be in the street, but it was just a part of my life. And so I dropped out of school the first year, went to Mississippi, went to school, graduated, went back to Chicago again, and dropped out again. So I went to 3 high schools in Chicago: Westerhouse High School, Resigned Orr, and then Marshall. Marshall, I went one day. They was like, that was the worst school I ever went to in my life. Yeah, I went one day at Marshall. Wow. But and then I transferred to Resigned Orr. But I dropped out after the half year. So I was behind actually 2 years of high school. I went back to Mississippi, and make the long story short, I talked to my counselor, similar to him, and my counselor said, well, this is what you're going to have to do. So I had to correspond classes. I had to have a full I had to have 7 classes plus correspondence and summer school. So I had a full ledger of classes that junior year when I was only in the 10th grade, but it was supposed to be my junior year. Actually, it was supposed to be my senior year. And so I went to summer school, passed those classes. I still had to correspond. So my 11th grade year, I only stayed in the 11th grade class maybe 2 weeks, and then they put me in the 12th grade homeroom. And then I ended up graduating with a full academic scholarship. So after being 2 years behind, I ended up 1 year behind, but I did graduate.
That's what's up.
Amen.
That's what's up. Because that's the same thing I did. I had 7 straight classes. I had to take a class in night school.
See?
I had to take 2 classes
It
in
took some
summer
work.
school.
It took some work.
Right, I put that effort in.
Right.
And that determination to want to graduate. And I knew I didn't want to be a dummy.
Thank
I
you.
knew I didn't want to grow up and be a person on the street talking about, hey, look here, can you loan me too?
Right.
I knew that.
Right.
I knew I didn't want to be like the different fellas in my neighborhood that all day, every day, just hanging out at the playground, drinking, putting pennies together to get a 40 to share every day.
Yeah.
I knew I didn't want to be like that. I knew I didn't want a crack epidemic happen in the early 80s. I knew those are things I knew I didn't want to do.
Right, right.
It's a blessing, really, that the Most High allowed me to go to church when I was younger, because if I didn't go to church and if the Most High
You got that
didn't allow me
foundation.
to go to church, no, I would have been a murderer.
Right, right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a dumb person who don't like to deal with foolishness and stupidity. And if a person is fake, shady, and all that, and they can't be around me like that. You understand what I'm saying? So, and I'm a person that's short-tempered because of the short-tempered to foolishness because of the abuse that I took. So I would have been a person that would have been a murderer. And I was always a person that wanted to take up for the weak. I never liked to see people getting bullied. So I would have dealt with people that were bullies. I would have killed them. You know, I know how I am. So I want to say that because I have a lot of issues with the church, and I do. But where else is a person going to go right now?
We
gotta get back on Bitcoin
We gotta get back on
after this.
Bitcoin. Let me say this right here before we jump back on Bitcoin. I was at Barnes and Noble's last week, and I believe a book.
What you doing at Barnes and Noble? You can't read.
Yeah, man.
Audio book, man.
Oh,
But look, I picked a book found me, and the book found me was the power of living in the now. And the book was so powerful it had me in tears because it said a lot of times in life we get caught between the past
and the future.
But we don't never want to live in right now. A lot of people don't want to live in right now, this right now moment. And the one reason they don't want to live in the now is because right now is painful. Why would you want to live in pain? That right now is painful. So you're saying, so now what I do is I go back to the past, or I look for better days, saying if I would have did this in the past. Now you're going over here saying, well, maybe things gonna be better when I get in the future. But what about just taking that painful situation and try to live in the now? Figure out what's causing all of this pain, and so that your presence right now is not a painful situation. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So we need to learn to live every day in the right now.
Right.
And that's hard for people to do. When I first started reading the book didn't make no sense to me. The man kept talking about living in the now. But what he was really saying was be present at this moment.
Right.
This moment that we are in right now, let's be present. Like, have you seen people that when you're trying to talk to them, they on their cell phone?
Yeah.
Wait, see what I'm saying?
guilty.
They on their cell phone and they not even listening.
Right.
But when you find a true friend that when you talking and they are listening intently, that's a person that's present. That's living in the now. They saying, I'm gonna enjoy this moment. So let's try to find days where we enjoy that day. That full hour, we enjoy it. Not sitting around
Worried about the
worried
past,
about,
worried about the
man,
future.
if I wouldn't have did this 10 years ago, man, I'd probably be further along. Man, maybe next year will be better. Who said you're gonna make it next year?
So let's deal with right
Let's
now.
deal with right now. All right?
I may be guilty on that at times. I ain't gonna be faking funny with nobody. There's a lot of times that I said that if things didn't happen in my life, I should be better than what I'm doing even today. You understand what I'm saying? But now I have realized and still practicing it.
Let's refocus on
that Yeah, that the Most High allows things to happen in life to you, and you go through things so that you can be what He wants you to be in the future.
Right.
There's a scripture that say, "Take no thought."
Whoa, man!
Take no thought for.
Wait a minute, man! Wait a minute, man! Just wait a minute, man!
Yeah.
I've been talking about that all.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
If He says take no thought, that means He's telling you living today. Don't even think about tomorrow.
He says sufficient for today is the evil thereof. He said, means today's is enough to deal with.
We ain't even supposed to even think about tomorrow.
So we're gonna start thinking about today.
I'm guilty of this.
Today.
That's why we get depressed and frustrated, because we so trying to deal with the past as well as the future.
And the future.
And that's too much to deal with.
Look.
All we need to deal with is today.
It's right now. And see,
Right.
the man said it like this. He said, you know what your problem is? All the pain, all the suffering in this world, it comes from people that have too much future and not enough presence. Hey, man, come on. Wait a minute. You got too much future. In other words, you always sitting around worrying about the future, but you ain't got no presence.
You ain't dealt with today.
Why don't you deal with the presence right now, what you have on the table right now? Why don't you deal with when we was in school, we had what's called word problem, math problem. If we'll sit down and take that problem and we say, man, look, we got to solve this.
That's my problem, Jeff.
Let's solve this.
That's my problem.
Not next year. We can't do nothing about the past. Let's solve this problem.
That's
And
my
focus
problem.
on that.
That's my problem.
And get away from having a whole lot of future and not enough presence.
That's my problem. I got that knowledge of, not worrying about it, but that's what
Whew.
gives me my anxiety and my depression, is when I worry about the future.
The
and I worry
future.
about what I did wrong in the past. So I need that.
You can't do
And
nothing about your past.
That's really what I've been thinking about.
Yeah.
The same scripture.
Yeah.
This week on.
Take no thought.
Yeah.
So
Man, we jumped.
we had jumped
man.
all off of Bitcoin, but you know what? It's cool because we said a lot of things to help a lot of people.
Exactly.
And we just shared a little of our life experience for help, because that's what we're all about. The Speakers Organization is about helping people and being real with people and being truthful with people. That's what we're about. That's what we're about.
Mhm.
That's what we want you to know. That's what we're about. So I'm not upset, and I think it's a good thing because we didn't go off on no foolishness.
Right.
We went off on a lot of truth, and we hopefully that all of you that tune in we've said some things that was helpful to you.
Right.
Now, as far as Bitcoin is concerned, Bitcoin, I apologize, is concerned, I wanted to bring out some knowledge to you on another different level and a different angle. I'm coming at you. I'm going to come with you at Bitcoin. Later on, Bitcoin into this future, into the future of this video, later on in this video. Okay, Bitcoin, let me say this about Bitcoin. In all actuality, it's really believed that Samsung, Motorola, what's that, Tabishi? What's that? What's the name of that company? Toshiba, right. Toshiba and Nakomishi, that is another company. It's believed that those are the companies that's the real creator of Bitcoin. Those companies that I named, and I may butcher up some, but you know what I'm talking about. It's really believed that those corporations are really the creator of Bitcoin. Okay? So we want to put that out there. Okay, Bitcoin, it is a digital currency, meaning that it is only electronic currency, as you know, along with the others that you named. Okay, Bitcoin is not attached to any state or government, and it does not have any central issuing like what we have today in our money, the central bank.
The central bank.
There's no authority or no regulatory body that governs the money that's being traded.
At least not yet.
At least not yet.
Okay. Because where we
are, we're gonna hit that in the end too.
Yeah, because right now, what's going on right now is, 4 months ago, when Bitcoin hit $20,000, a lot of people don't understand right now what's going on in the market, right? I just want to take just a second to explain. When you saw 2 weeks ago, the market dropped the Dow Jones dropped 2,500 points. And
Biggest drop.
you notice that's the biggest drop since 2000 ever. Matter of fact, So what happened, you got a fight going on now between cryptocurrency and the world markets. And see, so the people that's in cryptocurrency almost went to $1 trillion market cap. It went all the way up to like 800 billion. So what happened is, when the United States market, you know, they bought the United States in, basically. They let them get involved in the market. Now that all of a sudden the United States trying to regulate everything, sort of like the Dow Jones. They trying to regulate it, the SEC. We're gonna put regulation on that. So now cryptocurrency said, okay, if you want to do all that, we snatch our money out, and it crashed the market 2,500 points, right? And then so what happened, the United States, because they were trying to put regulation on everything, they snatched the money out of cryptocurrency, and crypto dropped from 20,000 to 6,000. See, it's a war going on. Right. Now, the other day, last week, the guy in South Korea, the one that's trying to bring regulations to cryptocurrency, they found him dead. I ain't laughing, but I'm just saying, cryptocurrency is here to stay. And these jokers playing for keeps, man.
And it is.
They found him dead.
It is.
Trying to bring regulation.
I tell you.
Wow.
I tell you.
Wow.
Man.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they found him in his hotel dead.
Wow.
In his room.
Wow.
Gone. Trying to bring regulation. Then the next day, South Korea said, now we want to work with cryptocurrency. We don't want to bring no regulations. We want to work with cryptocurrency.
And I'm gonna just bring a thought to you. What Jeff just said. What I was saying in the future. Why the individual that he said died, and why cryptocurrency, electronic currency, is here to stay. And I'm telling you, listen to what I'm saying to you in this video. It's not going anywhere.
Right.
It's about to get larger. And you that don't know about it, I'm telling you, you don't know about it today, but tomorrow you're going to know about it. Your children don't know about it, but they're going to know about it. The children that are not even born yet are going to be born into it.
Yes.
And this money that we have today, the dollar bill, 5, 10s, 20s, and 100s, is going to be ancient dinosaur to them.
Like a VCR.
What you all had? What?
Like a 8-track.
You all actually had paper for money that you were given? I'm telling you, listen to my words.
Mm-hmm. Just what he's saying. We didn't know what credit cards were. In my age, I'm just using credit cards. What? Maybe 15 years old. They just started when they really got.
Yeah, that's when his credit got good.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Right. No, being honest.
Right.
For those that had food stamps, we had the paper money.
You're right. And I grew up
Even
on
with
that.
food stamps now, they come on a credit card. They call them EBT and whatever else different states you in. So
I grew up on that paper food stamp.
Right. It was so embarrassing to go to the store.
I used to work. Hey, Julian lived in Detroit. I grew up on the corner of North Line and Intervale. My mother used to send us to Wyoming. It was a store called Big Valley, I think it was.
Big Star.
Big Valley. Right, it was over there in Wyoming and Intervale. When I used to go in that store with my paper food stamp and say, like, if I knew you went to school,
you would do your wait.
And I would go in line, I would try to wait
until you
let
get out
you
of
go
there.
out. But if y'all stayed there too long, or if it was too many people in my neighborhood I saw in there, I would walk from Wyoming to Intervale
go to the
up
store.
to Schaefer and Linden, which was about another mile. Hey, look, because you know I'm comfortable there because I knew I ain't know nobody else.
And then what happened? You get in line, and the man started reading the stuff up there, somebody walk in.
I used to.
That's what
oh, boy, I tell you, it was the day y'all realized the majority of the people was on food stamps too. They was getting free lunch too.
They was doing the same thing.
Yeah, man. Y'all, but that was the life of a child.
So we done went from that paper money, and right now a lot of people don't even carry paper money no more.
Right.
A lot of people only have their credit cards.
Right.
So you got to think the system is the debit card, credit card. The system is evolving to where it's going to be the phone right now. You can go and buy anything on your phone. You can go shop in Target. You can go anywhere and deliver it right to your house. I mean, you can do almost virtually anything
On
without
your phone.
any cash in your hand.
I
So
mean,
don't
we- I
think
mean,
cryptocurrency is not moving forward.
I mean, we shop at Walmart. We go online and shop at Walmart. Walmart bring the box of stuff and put it on your front porch.
and you ain't touching no cash. Didn't touch a dime.
And this is just like, okay, it used to be money, right? And then it came into where the credit cards and all that came into play. Each step, then the what you do call it when you scan when you scan, you know, everything has the barcode.
Yeah, the barcode.
So when the barcodes came into play, okay, so debit cards and not like you said, the food stamps, everything is coming to cards. All of these were just steps
To get you where we're going.
What get you where we're going, and now we got what's coming, what's here now, and what's going to grow very large, and what's going to dominate the earth is the
Cryptocurrency. So start investing.
Cryptocurrency. I had a problem
So start
pronouncing.
investing. Start
English
investing.
is my foreign language. It's not my language by bloodline. I'm a Hebrew. So when the Most High created me, it's just, you know, some of these English words, it's just hard for me to pronounce. I'm not from Carolina free. I tell people, do you speak a foreign language? Yes, I speak a foreign language. English is a foreign language to me. You know? Exactly, that's true. That's real talk. That ain't, they laughing, but that's real talk. That ain't even a joke. So when you see me, if I have problems pronouncing some of these English words, it's because it's not my language by bloodline. The Most High created me. And, you know, so my vocal cords and stuff is created.
And I speak pig language.
He speak Ebonics.
You know, so yeah, man, this blockchain is the core and it's the baseline, man, to this. When you send someone Bitcoins, you are sending it to them on a large ledger.
Yes.
And it's not like you are sending them a bunch of files. So when you, even though this junk is computerized, this system is computerized. I didn't mean to say junk, but this system is, that's my street talk. No, just stupid. But when somebody send you Bitcoins or whatever cryptocurrency that you're dealing with, it's not like they're sending you a bunch of files. So they're not sending a bunch of files. When you're sending them something that says, like, say, like if I say, Jeff, I'm going to send you 10 Bitcoins, and it's been sent on a blockchain, which is on a large ledger, I'm not downloading, as I said, large files on your computer.
Right.
The blockchain is a central record that no one person keeps record of. The transactions on it, there's transactions on it, but many people can keep record of the update of the transition. Okay, we got a person that's sitting down here who forgot to turn the volume down on his phone. You know his name, Jeff Harris.
We ain't gonna call out no name.
Yeah, we ain't gonna call his name. What you walking over there, man, and cut your phone down. You got some lint on the back of your pants, man, right there, you know. You know what I'm saying? Fellas just ain't square the witness. You know. These important fellas right here gotta have their phones on, right? Wait for that important phone call, yo. Yeah, but you know that's what it is. Bitcoin is said to have the highest return over gold and silver since 2013.
That's right.
Okay? It is said that Bitcoin is the future money and the future of the internet, and which it is. Bitcoin is that. There are Bitcoin, did you all know that there are Bitcoin ATMs?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
They got the first, I know, you know, down at D.C., where you cross over into Northern Virginia, right there, at that little plaza, it's a Bitcoin machine.
Bitcoin machines. There's Bitcoin
Like
ATM. We're gonna kick you off your rocker later on in the future. I mean, in this video. We're getting there. Just be patient with us. There's ATM Bitcoins right now in existence where you can offer and buy things just like you can do your money right now.
That's right.
Because let me say something. There's a fella, man, some years ago. I still know him, but we're just not as close. A fella named John. And he used to try to get me to invest in, it was something, this was back in like 2013, 2012. And he used to always try to get me to invest in something. But I'm this the type of individual I am. If you bring something to me and you say, hey, Charles, you need to invest in this, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm going to tell you? Okay, let me see you invest in it. And let me see how it's doing for you. And if I see that it's doing for you, then that's where my trust come in. I'm saying, okay, let me get on board with this. Okay, so the fella named John was coming to me telling me to invest in this situation. He was telling me the money in return, how much money he have. But everything he was telling me was electronic. And what he was showing me was electronic. Okay, so in my mind, I was like, no, you know, we living in time. I want to see the physical.
Right.
Draw the money out. That's what I wanted to see. But he couldn't do it. So
He was turned off.
right, I was turned off and I wasn't going to invest. But he would come to me every time he saw me, which was every day. He would always bring that up. Tom, you need to jump in it. Charles, you need to jump in it. You need to blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, and I used to tell him, man, let me see what it's doing for you first. And then if it's cool, then I'll do it because I know it's real. But it turned out that it was a scam.
Okay.
And he had hundreds of dollars invested in it, and all these thousands of dollars that he was showing, or the money, whatever it was that he was showing he had, was just a fake.
The one that he was in was a
Right,
scam.
right. The one that he in was right,
Yeah,
was a scam.
I have a friend, we have a friend, mutual friend,
Mhm.
that's lived down in Virginia. They're gonna say his name, but he invested into the Ripple, and he made like a $40,000 over, basically overnight. He made $40,000 on Ripple with the investment that he invested.
Okay.
So that's real. That's real
Yeah.
money.
And
But he said he riding it out. He's not gonna take his money out. He's gonna let it ride until it grows as far as it grows.
yeah, cause like right now, you know, without showing my hand, you know, I ain't gonna tell you how many Bitcoins I got, but I have 90,000 Verticoins. I have 6 million Moon coins. I have 200,000 Doge coins, what they call them doggy coins. I have 30,000 GCC coins. You know, and see, with the Verticoins, last year the price was 47 cents at $90, and 90,000 coins at 47 cents. My account was looking at something like 35,000. You know what I'm saying? And so this is the potential that you can make with these coins. You know, I'm not just telling you. And like right now, the Verticoin with these 90,000 that I'm holding is 3 cents.
About to get him.
But they 3 cents. You know what I'm saying? So I just went in the chat room this morning and I was complaining. I told the man, I said, man, we still stuck at 3 cents for the last 7 months, 8 months. And one of the guys in the chat room said, be patient. He said, Verticoin get ready to do something that you ain't even believe yourself. See? So see what I'm saying? So this is the potential.
Right.
You get in early at the ground floor level of some of these, they call them ICOs, right? Well, cryptocurrency is ICOs. You know, they more or less are introductory crypto offerings. In other words, they're beginning phases. You get in on the ground floor level and check some of them out. Some of them may be scams, some of them may not be scams. But if you get in at the ground floor level and they still at a penny, 3 cents, and you take $1,000, $500 and get in, you never know what the potential may be, how much money you might
Don't
make.
never say you ain't got the money. Because if you paying $200 for cable, if you paying $200 for a pair of Michael Jordan retros or whatever you spending your money on, you got your Gucci purses or whatever you spending your money on, on your entertainment, on your cars. If you decide, let me save some money this month. If I decide to cut off my cable and say that $200, $300, some people have astronomical cable bills because they got everything on 5 TVs. They got whatever ultimate package, extreme packages. They got everything. If you save that money, you got money to invest because it don't take but a couple of dollars to invest. If you looking at something like Verticoin, 3 cents.
Right.
So if you invest $200 on 3 cents, then the potential is so much greater.
Right.
So don't say you don't have the money to invest. Don't never say that because, and then the money that we spend on a daily basis
On fast food.
Right.
$20 here, $20 there.
I remember one time I was working so much that I don't know how to cook even today, to be honest with you. But I remember, man, I was working so much that I added up how much I was spending a month on fast foods and I was spending about $400 a month just buying fast food.
Exactly.
5 there,
So you
10
got-
here, going every 3 days, picking up here and there, and then on the weekends going out to eat. I added it up. I was spending about $400 a month just on fast foods, $300 and some a month. Now I'm only one person, so that's why these companies are multi-billion-dollar companies. You got over 7 billion people living on this earth.
Right.
Now, how many of us living on this earth are going to these fast foods?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So yeah, so we can invest. If you know and you find out, what I say to people, do your research.
Mhm.
Don't get caught up in a Ponzi scam or
Right,
pyramid scam. Because just like you have the real thing, you have fake
Right.
and phonies too.
Right, right.
So do your research on it before you get involved in anything.
And I would suggest too, if you go to Coin Market Cap, and it'll bring up all 1,400 cryptocurrencies. I would suggest to you to stick with the top 30. In the beginning, stick with the top 30. Because the top 30, you got Bitcoin, you got Ripple, you got Ethereum, you got all of these that have been tested. You know what I'm saying? If they got a market cap of over $1 billion, they've been tested. So you want to try to stick with Ripple, stick with Ethereum. They cost a lot right now because you didn't get in when they was a penny. You know what I'm saying? You might have to get in now at $2 for Ripple, or some of these coins you might have to get in at $40 or $30. But at least you got you coming in, and then you can find some that's still on the penny status.
A lot of times we don't even know about it.
Right.
Such with certain cryptocurrencies.
Right.
We don't know about it, because I probably would have jumped at a penny status. I'm like, what do I have to lose? You know what
Right,
I'm saying?
right.
I would have invested in that, And now, since doing this video right here, it makes you aware of the cryptocurrency
Mhm.
that's taking place and that's going to overcome this world.
Yeah.
It's going to be the main currency of the earth. Then now you can start checking into it and try to make some investments. I'm going to tell you about a cryptocurrency that's really going to dominate everything in the future, even Bitcoin. Okay? This is a surprise to these two fellas because, as we know, we don't rehearse when we do our videos. We don't rehearse. We don't practice. We don't try to be in harmony. We disagree.
Right.
He's going to say something that I'm not going to agree with. He's going to say something that I'm not going to agree with. And everything I say, they're going to agree with. Not just But I'm going to say some things that he's not going to agree with, and I'm going to say some things that he's not going to agree
Right.
with. What we hoping that you appreciate is our realness.
And we gonna straighten you out.
And
though.
our
You know what I'm
children.
saying? We gonna
Exactly.
straighten you
That's
out.
what we hope that you just appreciate our realness.
Yeah, how big and bad you think it? We double team you, but
Word to the mother. Word to the mother. So Bitcoin too. Bitcoin, it grows on your hard drive, okay, and you'll never touch it. So we know that about the cryptocurrency.
Well, let me say this right
Yeah,
here.
go ahead, brother.
They are coming up now with a system with a more or less like a thumb drive.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Where you can take your cryptocurrency off your computer and put it in your pocket or put it in your safe.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's coming down to that. People are still working on it, trying to invent something now where you can take all
Like
your
put it on a
currency
flash drive
offline,
or
put it on
something.
on like a flash drive,
Okay.
and put it in your pocket.
Okay,
Or
but you
put it in
still
your
can't
safe.
touch it. If you put it on your flash drive. See, this is what I thought you were saying at first. I thought you were saying that.
There's no physical money.
Right, I thought he was about to say that it was going to be some physical money.
like a credit card.
Yeah, some that, or not even a credit card. I thought you was about to say that it was going to be some physical money that a person can hold.
Oh, okay.
And I was about to say I have to disagree with you because I know what this thing is all about. That's what I was about to say.
Right,
But but can you download it and put it on a flash drive to take it to another computer or another computer system? Now I believe that.
Right.
Okay, I definitely believe that.
Right.
Okay, right now the central banks are not in charge of the Bitcoins, so the value of your bank balance is set by the supply and demand of the market.
Right.
Okay? How to buy things with Bitcoins. There's companies out there.
Airlines.
There are airlines that's accepting
Everybody,
Bitcoins.
Amazon, you ready to start
Right,
accepting?
as the years pass, so you have to check and see what commodities are being accepted.
Matter of fact, I'm accepting Bitcoin. I'm selling my book on Facebook, and I'm accepting Bitcoin.
Okay.
Everybody want to buy my book, I'm taking Bitcoin for my book.
Okay. Okay. So I got to figure out how to sell my books on Bitcoin.
And yeah,
I'm
you
gonna get with you.
Bitcoin wallet. I'm gonna show you.
I'm gonna get with you.
Yeah,
So
I'ma
you
show
can
you how to
teach
get your
me
Bitcoin wallet.
how I can sell my book.
People can give you
on
Bitcoin for that book.
And I
Yes.
will take your Bitcoin.
And I'm gonna show you. You
I
gonna
know
be-
that's right.
That's what the world is coming to, people. The world is changing. It's changing. See, the thing is, man, everybody, majority of the people are just so caught up in the atmosphere.
Mhm.
You caught up in your silly conversations. You drive on the expressway, the highway, up and down the streets, in the neighborhoods, in the countries, in the rural areas, talking about how big and bad your families are, all into the television and
The reality
all into your
shows.
reality shows and into the garbage that they call music.
Right.
And you just caught up in all your elementary and childish and silly conversations, and you don't understand around you in this real world, there's something very terrible and large and big that's happening. And that's why you could speak truth to people,
Mhm.
and they can't comprehend that.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
can't
Even in the
comprehend.
scriptures, when Esau, who the world calls Jesus, things that he said to the people, a lot of things he said to the people, that was far-fetched. They couldn't
It
understand
went right
it.
over the head.
Exactly. But what he was speaking in every word that he spoke was truth and reality.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying? So this is why I'm saying this to you, because you that are able, what you need to do is stop. I used to be full of play. When I was young and when I was a child, I was nothing but full of play. I used to, in school, I used to get all bad grades in citizenship, really up until, I think, middle school. I started changing because I wanted to be older, more mature, and then you go through them stages where you think you're cool. So that's when it changed. But I was nothing but play. That's all. I didn't even want it. You should understand what I'm saying? So we can all change, and just because what you are today doesn't mean what you have to be tomorrow.
Right. Right.
Okay, so what I'm challenging you, and they have a lot of stupid and elementary challenges that's going on, but my challenge to you is get your mentality out of your world. Everything good? Get your mentality out of your world, out of your elementary and your childish conversations, and start dealing with reality. We're going to cut this, and we're going to start a part 2 of this video. And we're going to talk about, we ask you to stay tuned and listen to this part 2, because we're going to say some very important things, and we're going to say some things that's going to really affect you individually. We thank you for watching part 1.